Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on XRP, your daily update of course. It's good to have you all back. Pretty important update here because there's quite a lot to talk about regarding the technicals here for XRP. Fundamentally not much, but trust me, I can fill these 4 or 5 minutes, which I will take of your time if you allow me to talk about these technicals, because what we had yesterday was a bit of a blessing and a curse. All right, we expected, or at least we knew that there was a quite high likelihood that XRP would fill some of the imbalance we made right here, right? So this move, at least here to the downside, was quite imbalanced. At least price moved past those levels very quickly. And what you saw yesterday, and this is what I mean with it's a blessing and a curse, and we're diving right into the video here. Hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully you're warmed up a little bit. Is that first of all, XRP has held incredibly well. I mean, we had a bit of a fake out here below 1.95, which is normal. That's even better. I mean, usually when you see something like this, that actually makes price stronger. So that's not the end of the world, but the thing is that, okay, XRP was stronger against Bitcoin, as you can see slightly right here. Since yesterday, XRP BTC has remained relatively stable, has even gone up slightly. But what that means is that, well, that's a decent indication. But what that also means is that we still have this imbalance here to the downside. We could potentially fill, well, for Bitcoin specifically, that has already been filled. And then XRP BTC, so again, the relative strength of XRP against Bitcoin, last 12 hours were slightly better. However, that is still in a downtrend, all right? And fundamentally, even though I quite liked the acquisition of Hidden Road earlier this week, fundamentally for XRP, I don't see much strength. And also right now, like the reclaim here above 1.95 was good, but since then the volume has also been relatively low, which is also an indication of not a lot of strength. So yeah, therefore I'm slightly worried about some sort of a major imbalance fill, and that we will not be able to reclaim that. Now at this point of time, given what we're seeing from the markets, I mean this couple of these last 2 minutes have been relatively bearish for Bitcoin, but ultimately the price action for Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, so the price action for the market, has been good, has been strong, I would argue. So therefore, I'm also still leaning bullish on XRP. And like I said, I mean, purely technically, XRP is also holding on fine. 1.95 is that main level we want to hold. We got that fake out, but we were able to, even though with low volume, we were able to reclaim that and hold it as support so far. So that in combination with in general, still being relatively bullish on XRP and Ripple fundamentally, and my thoughts on the markets, I have to tell you that I still think it's most likely we will ultimately be able to get back up to the value area low right here of the previous range at 2.07. And I also think when we're talking about either a definitive or sustainable breakout above 2.07 or below 1.95, I think it's much more likely we will get that breakout above 2.07 and that we can get back into this balance right here between 2.07 and 2.2, and then from there we'll see again. I mean, ultimately, like getting all the way up to 2.3, 2.4, where we have a HVN, a high volume node, it's going to be difficult, all right? Or at least it's very difficult for me to predict that at this point of time, given the uncertainty in the markets. But this is what I still think is most likely. Now it's a Friday, so in general it can be quite volatile. Given that imbalance to the downside, I still think you need to be prepared for that as well. But like I said, even if we do that, I still think it's most likely we do something like this afterwards, and that XRP is going to be strong enough, great English, to reclaim that level at 1.95. But I'll keep you updated on this. For now, I think this is what you need to know regarding the technicals. If there's any fundamental updates, I'll be the first to tell you. But at this point of time, I don't think there are fundamental updates important enough to talk about with you. But that's it for now. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.